Hello, everyone. How is it going? Why has it done that? All right. Hello, everyone. How's it going? It's Shabir from Velo City, and welcome to yet another video game watch party. What episode are we on now? 6? Let's go, baby. What's that then? 4 weeks in a row, yeah? Hey, love it. Hello there, Reaper. Hello there, Hyper. Hello there, Zeko. Hello, Soup. Hello, Taco. Hello, Dento. Hello. Blink twice if I'm being forced to stream almost on time against my will. You know what? I actually am. I have social commitments this evening, so hence why we're only doing the one stream today and not an evening stream, right? So I do have to be somewhere today, but it's time to get on with the video game watch party, man. Thank you. Oh, Sue, thank you for the 4 month, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Space Marine, hello. Nitro, hello. Welcome, everyone. No, movie is tomorrow. Today is my cousin's birthday, so we're spending time with the family today. But yeah. Right. And yo, Hyperdimension, thank you very much, man. I hope you enjoyed the separate upload that we did as well. So it's great, like, bro, because of all these different topics that we're covering, I feel like we're truly becoming the variety channel now, and I'm happy with that, man. I'm very, very happy with that, so thank you, man. I knew it. Shabir would never delay only once. I know, right? Man, thank you, Zeko. I shall, man. Before I forget, on purpose, I only paid for the... right, got you. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it big time. Right. And what else? Okay, lovely. Yeah, there's not much else to yap about today aside from the fact that we are starting here over on YouTube. As you know, we have the one video, and then after that it's all music, so we will be heading on over to Twitch. So make sure you guys are following us there. There it is. And also be sure to subscribe to our VOD channel as well. Thank you very much, Kenzo. Thank you for all of your hard work. We'll see you around, bro. All right. And where is it? Yeah. Subscribe over here. No, that is the playlist. Here it is. Right, guys, shall we get started? No need to dilly-dally. Let's freaking do it. All right. First up, it is... Here we go. Games that hide their own sequels. Oh, I know what has to be. Destiny has to be on here, right? Well, not technically Destiny, Halo ODST. Or does that not count because it wasn't a sequel to itself? But do you guys remember the Destiny Awaits poster? I don't know if that actually counts because it's not a sequel to Destiny. Sorry, it's not a sequel to Halo, but it was a Bungie game, and Halo ODST pointed towards their new Bungie IP. So I don't know. Let's see. But that was a banger poster, man. And we eventually got that the structure that you see in the Destiny Awaits poster. It was a more tease towards the next project. Exactly. Credits. Yeah. Right. And that one was an Easter egg towards the next one. So yeah, technically that's not actually what this is saying. But okay, games that hide their own sequel though. This is gonna be fun. I'm actually excited to check this out. Let's do it. Jacob Gella. I'm definitely saying your name wrong. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for the video. Let's like, subscribe. Check it out, baby. Oh, with captions as well. Thank you. Jeremiah, how's it going? Zekrom, how's it going? Welcome, everyone. Here we go. Everyone, hello. Hello. All right, let's do it.
This video has spoilers for... Actually, sorry to be obnoxious 2 seconds into a video, but the spoilers already require explanation.
Destiny 1 is beloved by fans.
See, the pitch of this video is basically games that have a very specific kind of twist hidden in them, and because of this, even giving the name of the game I'll be spoiling will in itself be a spoiler for that game.
I see,
because then you'll know that it has that very specific kind of twist.
Oh my god.
Here's what's going to happen. If you are averse to the idea of being spoiled on anything at all, just get out now. Now, for the rest of you, I am going to show the games that I'm going to talk about in this video, but with a little twist of my own. You know how in firing squads, one guy gets a blank so they can all maintain some veil of innocence? Here, I'm going to show all the games I'm going to talk about, and one I'm not going to talk about. Therefore, if you see this list of games and think, damn it, I wish I didn't know it had that twist.
You don't know. It could not be that game.
Maybe it doesn't. Does that make sense?
That's really cool, actually.
Here we go!
That's very, very cool. Okay. Interesting.
If you ask a fan of the Yakuza or Metal Gear Solid games,
I was gonna say,
which entry should I
how's it going,
start
man?
on, you'll probably get very strong reactions based around the chronology and interwoven narrative of the series. You can't play Infinite Wealth before Yakuza 0. You can't play Metal Gear Solid 4 before 2. I did both those things. You're less likely to get that strong of a reaction from fans of the Earth Defense Force series, colloquially known as EDF. Unless you're in Japan, you might not have even realized Earth Defense Force was a series until the third entry. In the West, consumers received a game called Monster Attack, followed by a game called Global Defense Force, and then a game called Earth Defense Force 2017. Global Defense Force was later retitled to Earth Defense Force 2, and 2017 is also known as Earth Defense Force 3.
I see.
My first game in the series was neither of these. It was the absurdly titled Earth Defense Force 4.1: Shadow of New Despair, a revamped and expanded edition of a game originally titled Earth Defense Force 2025.
Oh my goodness.
Confused yet?
Right.
The thing is, it doesn't really matter. The games, as anyone who's played 5 minutes of one knows, are all about killing big ants and swarms of UFOs and occasionally a kaiju. There's no consistent chronology between these games, nor does there need to be. I don't need a backstory to be convinced to shoot a giant ant with a rocket launcher. Earth Defense Force 5, which was actually titled Earth
It's giving me like
Force
OG
5,
Helldiver, like as in, was this like the OG Helldiver style game?
It only matters because Earth Defense Force 6 kind of continues from 5, and EDF 6 is what this section is about.
Okay.
Something about me is I love a late title card. Remember how in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, there's a full 20 minutes of movie before the opening credits, or Raising Arizona, or hell, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning? Well, let me tell you what happens a good 13
How's it going, man?
missions
Welcome.
into Earth Defense Force 6.
Oh shoot, 13
The game
missions.
opens in a bunker on a completely destroyed Earth, the remnants of what's left after the events of EDF 5. You fight the requisite big ants and robots and some frogmen, get into the groove of what an EDF game is supposed to be. Then, in the 13th mission, an enormous ring-shaped alien mothership descends. You dash under it, attacking its weak point. Everything flashes, the sky goes black and then white, and words appear on the screen. The Earth Defense Force 6 begins now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go! Earth Defense Force 6 begins now. The real Dark Souls starts.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome.
Let's kill
That's
some
pretty
bugs.
sick. I like that.
Earth Defense Force 6, according to my Steam library, is a very long game. There are 147 mainline missions, which took me 57 hours to beat on a very non-comprehensive first playthrough. But see, Steam is mistaken. Earth Defense Force 6 is a very short game. After attacking the ring ship, you're seemingly transported back in time, back to a non-destroyed Earth to kill more big bugs and robots. You fight valiantly until a mission completely overwhelms you, and the timeline flashes forward 3 years back to the destroyed Earth you started in. The horrible ring descends again. You position yourself directly underneath it and attack. The sky flashes black and then white, and then the words appear. We go back in time, and the accident reoccurs. Time does not move forward.
Groundhog Day?
The Earth Defense Force 7
Wait, what?
begins now.
What?
Earlier this year, I felt like I was the one who was sent back in time. Arguably the first indie game I ever played, not counting thousands of free flash.
Is that all we're getting for that
a project
section?
by Kyle Gabler and Ron Carmel called World of Goo.
Oh my god.
World of Goo, which I played on the Wii in 2008, is a physics-based puzzle game where the player balances stacks of goo balls in wobbly towers to reach the goal. It's a game I have a lot of affection for. Its disturbingly cute art direction, its incredible soundtrack, its strikingly bizarre narrative choices. For me, it set the template for what to expect from future indie titles. And then, this year, the year of our Lord 2024, Gabler and Carmel are back with a game called World of Goo 2.
It's fun? This is fun?
And it feels like it could have come out in 2009. That's not as damning as it sounds, I promise. It's
That's a good
more
thing.
that the opening hours of World of Goo 2 feel far more iterative than revolutionary. Many of the levels are pretty overt remixes of similar levels from the first title. The soundtrack is also made of excellent reworkings of the original themes. The gameplay is, well, it's still moving goo balls around. There is new stuff. The game introduces lots of new types of goo, including actual liquid with physics. It doesn't feel lazy, but it does feel... It feels, like I said, that this is the sequel the developers would have come out with a year or two after the original release,
not so many
rather
years
than
after.
16
Right.
years later.
I've never seen this game. It looks fun. I like these kind
Fortunately,
of...
one of the things World of Goo 2 preserves is the gonzo story beats. In fact, it amps them up significantly. In the first world, you use the goo balls to catch a giant sea beast living below an island, and that beast rears up and breathes fire in a spiral that surrounds the entire
Right, it
planet.
reminds me of like some of the
Fire that
older
fades
PopCap
into
games
text
and stuff like that.
reads 100,000
Okay.
years later, 100,000 light years away.
Wow, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far
the
away.
goo balls find themselves on a Snowpiercer-like train, a
Oh,
train
God.
that encircles the globe and eventually draws so close to the speed of light that time on the planet it circles speeds up in comparison.
Oh
the
my
train
God.
whizzes by again and again. All the humans crumble to dust
Oh my
before our
goodness.
eyes, and when it stops, it somehow skipped all the way past the chapter 3 you were theoretically playing. It skipped past 4, too. It skipped into an entirely different World of Goo. The next level of World of Goo 2
What
is
the
World
hell?
of Goo 9, Paper Gulf. The level after that is World of Goo 11, This Way Up. The level after that is World of Goo 17, The Black Stain. Suddenly, the similarity of the first levels of the game feels like an intentional bluff. You thought we could only manage iterative?
What?
The game seems to be saying. You thought we didn't have new ideas? You thought we were repeating ourselves out of necessity?
Damn.
Ha! Look, is this it? Is this what you wanted?
Huh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
5 years after World of Goo, but still more than a decade ago, the realm of
What?
office-based
That's
bits about
mad.
agency in
Okay.
video games was changed forever by the release of the Stanley Parable. It was, actually, a pretty big deal.
I've heard the name
the
The Stanley Parable.
is a
Okay.
game based around a single moment.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You, as a player, come to
Oh,
a
you had a
decision.
hiccup? I
The
hope it's okay now.
narration of the game tells you to make one choice. You are free to obey the narration or disobey. And from here, the Stanley Parable spins off into every potentiality you could possibly imagine. The narrator works with you, or yells at you, or tricks you, or creates
my God.
new games for you. You can follow the story or abandon it. You can break the geometry of the world. One of the appeals of the Stanley Parable in 2013 was it seemed to account for everything. There was dialogue written for every possible action of the player. I mean, the game literally contained a museum documenting itself, for Christ's sake. And so, when the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition was announced, billed as largely a console port with new endings and new dialogue, my reaction was kinda... okay. Never while playing the Stanley Parable did I think that it should have had more endings. Never did it feel like a smaller version of what it should have
Really,
been.
Nitro, what the hell?
Imagine my shock, then, when this expectation turned out to be exactly what the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition was about. Because this version of the game isn't just an expansion or remix or remaster, it is, you should have probably expected it by this point, the Stanley Parable 2. Hidden in the walls of the
Wow.
original game, behind a door subtly labeled
New
New Content,
content.
is the Stanley Parable 2.
What the hell?
The thing about
okay.
the Earth Defense Force games, from Monster Attack to now, is they haven't changed very much. This isn't a criticism, necessarily. They have added tons of stuff, new weapons, new vehicles, new classes and enemies, But every new feature is built on the same basic framework, individual levels where you shoot aliens until there aren't any more, picking up dropped packages of armor and weapons, leveling the city around you. The games have remained so consistent that when the Earth Defense Force 7 begins now, and then the game plays and looks exactly the same as it did before, it feels like a little wink to the audience.
Right.
We know what we are, EDF says. EDF 7 won't require a new engine or animations or gameplay mechanics. It'll just need more bugs. And the game is absolutely right. I dove into EDF 7 with the same verve I did with 6, and when the time came once again to attack the ring-shaped mothership, I pounced on that thing, pummeling its weak points with rockets until the screen flashed white and read, "It's the same, but something is definitely off. The Earth Defense Force 8 begins now." A full map of the plot of Earth Defense Force 6 looks something like Tenet or Primer, media featuring absurdly involved and self-replicating timeline knots. But as complicated as Tenet gets, it never hits you with a Tenet 2 title card. And that's
I need
because
to watch that
what
movie.
EDF and World of Goo and Stanley Parable are forcing you to do is consider their meta-narrative. Not just their story as a game, but their story as a franchise.
Right.
Earth Defense Force 8 means nothing to the characters of the game. World of Goo 17 is only meaningful to us, a player in the real world who knows they're playing a game called World of Goo 2. To make a game that contains its own sequel is to acknowledge oneself as a media object, yank the player out of any immersion they might have in the world.
Right.
Earth Defense Force has never been a series that has particularly prioritized deep storytelling, but it's also never looked the player dead in the face and said, "This is a video game with this directness." Even the color scheme of the UI changes, a new coat of paint on fundamentally the same experience. And as the scale of the games contained in EDF 6 continues to grow, by the end of Earth Defense Force 9, you're fighting a literal god the size of Long Island. I think it's begging you to get existential about the whole nature of this fight. What are we doing, huh? How much is too much? Are 140 missions enough for you? Will 4 games in one satisfy your cravings? This implied conversation with the player is made explicit in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Inside the new content door, we're led to something called the Memory Zone, a place in which the narrator reminisces about what the Stanley Parable used to be, and what it used to mean. He literally reads reviews of the game in-game. The cleverest achievements from Steam are framed on the wall. And we gradually realize that the Memory Zone isn't just commemorative, it's a burden. It's the weight of importance that any follow-up would have to bear. What follows the Memory Zone is in effect a scene sculpted by fear. The narrator, self-conscious about his own long-windedness, gives you a skip dialogue button. Repeated skips take you farther and farther into the future as the narrator completely unravels and time itself falls apart. It is only after this ending, after the end of time, that you're truly given access to the Stanley Parable 2. It and World of Goo 2 parallel each other.
What the hell?
Both accelerate
I've not seen those, by the way.
inconceivable point in the future before giving access to their sequels. And in both, the sequels are less games and more desperate jumps at continued relevancy after time has passed them by. What the Stanley Parable 2 ends up being is a mountain of graphic design and branding based off a handful of ideas that cannot coalesce. Try as he might, the narrator can't combine concepts like the jump circle, the infinite hole, and the idea of collectibles into a satisfying follow-up to the original game. He sighs.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
At the end of World of Goo 17, you meet a character who isn't a character at all, but a physicalized AI of a long-dead World of Goo fan, now a computer that's archived every World of Goo game ever made. He says that some were good, most were bad.
World of Goo 21 wasn't even a game. It was just a program that generated gameplay video. Infinite generated content you could stream on your streaming platform to your fans or whatever forever.
Dang.
You could be a content creator without the inconvenience of having to create
Damn.
content.
The game's approached a singularity. After finding all the collectibles added in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, the narrator insists on collecting them all again, because remembering is now more fun for him than playing something new. And then, after many resets, quietly
That's
added on
crazy,
the
isn't
main
it?
menu screen,
Epilogue.
a new option. Epilogue. We're back at the end of time. Desert and sun and moon and fire and wind, and then, a final time, the memory zone. It too is crumbling. It doesn't have much time left.
Oh, the web.
On March 21st, 2024,
Damn.
Capcom released Dragon's Dogma 2, a long-awaited follow-up to their cult classic from 2012. Dragon's Dogma 2 promised everything you'd expect from a sequel: polished and expanded gameplay mechanics, a larger and more immersive world, a deeper story, the list goes on. Weirdly, one expectation they didn't deliver on was getting the name right on their title screen. You do a prologue, escape prison by hopping on a griffin, and just as the beast soars towards the game's mainland, the title proudly proclaims Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, no two.
Just Dragon's Dogma. No numerals or subtitles or anything else. It's a weird choice, but we live in a world where the 7th God of War game is called God of War, so
Fair
I didn't
enough.
put too much thought into it.
Oh,
Dragon's
no.
Dogma 2024 is a very similar game to its predecessor. It's set in a classic medieval fantasy, what Matt Lease referred to as
hobbity as f***.
It's a game where you, the chosen arisen, and your pawns, non-chosen adventure companions, trek through vast and dangerous stretches of wilderness, fighting goblins and ghosties and big ogres and stuff. If I had to describe the feeling of Dragon's Dogma in a word, it would be commitment. Commitment to the legitimacy of its world and its size. Commitment to the fact that any cart ride between two locations will likely be procedurally interrupted by a wandering band of goblins. Commitment to the powers your chosen class can attack those goblins with. Commitment to the fact that even if you kill all the goblins, the fact that they smashed your cart during the battle means you'll be legging all the way home. These are the stories Dragon's Dogma is made of. Dynamic stories created by unpredictable events. You try to bring a griffin down by jumping on top of it, but instead it takes off and soars to a part of the map you've never seen. You're injured and struggling through the wilderness. You stumble upon a miraculous city of elves, but you don't have anyone in your party who speaks Elvish, so you're not able to ask them for help. You fall into bed alongside your pawn, but your pawn picked up a mysterious disease on the road, and when you wake, the entire city around you is dead.
Oh, what?
The freedom the game gives you is almost terrifying when paired with its equal level of consequence. Feel free to attack and kill that quest giver. Just be ready to deal with what happens after. Wander off into high-level wilderness, but don't expect any help when monsters destroy your only camping equipment in the middle of the night. The paradox of the game is that the actual literal story seems to be at odds with this sense of freedom. Dragon's Dogma 2024 has, to be frank, an almost completely uninteresting narrative. There's a false ruler on the throne, you're the rightful sovereign, we gotta get you back up there, king. The quest design is offbeat in often interesting ways, but the story told within those quests has almost no staying power. And for all the choices the game gives you, it seems to always end up in one place. You fight the biggest dragon, the people love you, and you have a seemingly hollow victory where you take the throne and have a big feast, doing nothing to stem the fundamental violence of the world. This is also basically a thematic repeat of the first game, in which you find the ruler of the world and supplant them, locking yourself into your own cycle of monarchic destruction. It's Hey gamers, you know linking the fire in Dark Souls? It's that. The game keeps forcing you to link the fire, perpetuating the status quo without anything revolutionary.
Okay.
And on its own, that is maybe a cleverly simple way of designing the narrative for a sequel.
And keep more games
hey,
coming.
our first game was about cycles, and so the second game is about cycles again. That's the way a cycle works. But it's also a little disappointing, you know? Like, this is what was cooking for 12 years?
Right.
Just a repeat of the first game's story? I am being deliberately obtuse, of course. That hollow ending is haunted. Haunted by the feeling that there must be something more. You reload the game and you're on the dragon's back again, flying once more towards the story's inevitable conclusion. I fought this dragon 3 times before understanding that there was, in fact, another option. Hours before, in some forgotten story quest, I had been handed the Empowered Godsbane Blade, a sword I was baffled to find I couldn't equip or use. So it sat in my crowded inventory, covered by various rotting fruits and forgotten, until finding myself once more on the back of the dragon I was supposed to fight, I crawled down to its fractured chest, finally pulled out the Godsbane Blade, and stabbed not the dragon, but myself. What happens next is... I'm worried I'm going to undersell how transcendent this moment is. For context, upon reaching this point, I've probably played this game for 35 hours. I tried out its many classes, I fought the Dragon God, I literally watched the credits roll. I experienced and then forgot 24 story quests. But I will not forget what happened next. I stabbed myself with the Empowered Godsbane Blade, and I and the dragon both plummet into the ocean below, engulfed in angry red tendrils. But someone stops me halfway down. A spirit named the Pathfinder that's been haunting the game from the beginning, who tells me in no uncertain terms that I am abandoning the game. That there is a world designed for me. There are characters built to help me in my quest, and what I'm doing is forsaking all of them.
Okay.
Those same characters reach towards me, begging me to come back, become sovereign, finish the game. Let's watch those credits roll one more time. And I cast them off.
Okay.
And then I fall further. When we fade back in, my character is lying face down on a blasted wasteland, the air a malevolent red unlike anything present in those previous 35 hours. And then the camera draws back and back through the clouds and up into the sky, a vision of hell itself, and then it hits. Dragon's Dogma 2. Welcome to the sequel, asshole. The oceans are dry and the air is tormented and the land itself is being ripped apart by an ever-encroaching storm wall. The game has been pushed as far as it could and then further still. This is the result. And so, what do we make of this most delayed ever?
Yeah, what happens after that?
Drop? Within the game's narrative, I like the framing Renata Price gave it in a piece for Bullet Points. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a game about how far one can stretch the threads of fate before they break. The Pathfinder tells you that this is what happens when you refuse to play your proper role in the story. He flips the table and burns the whole world. He tells you that, should any one part come undone or any one role go unfulfilled, the whole story will unravel.
Bloody hell.
But we already know this to be wrong, don't we? The story doesn't unravel. It doesn't end. It transforms. It becomes furious and alive in front of us. But as much as it challenges the cyclical status quo of its fantasy world, there is also the unavoidable meta-narrative. The 2 at the end of the title, not thrown in the face of our character, but directed at us, the players, the fans who bought the video game sequel, hoping it'd be everything a video game sequel is supposed to be. New, but familiar, bold, but polished, revolutionary, but nostalgic. It's the most familiar cycle of them all. Art, hoping that repeating the same tricks can evoke the same response it once did.
Okay.
If the game you've just spent dozens of hours on felt too much like Dragon's Dogma 1 even seemed to share its title, then this is the rejoinder, Dragon's Dogma 2, a sequel that meaningfully expands the original's themes by setting itself in hell.
But then how much of the game is left after that?
I can't help but think of the Stanley Parable's blasted wasteland in these moments. Another desert, witness to the crumbling of civilization. Every ounce of blood sucked from the stone. An absurd, over-the-top metaphor for artistic repetition. But my God, what a way to go out. At the end of Earth Defense Force 6, scientists somehow managed to destroy the very beginning of the aliens' evolutionary pathway. The final boss becomes a fight to determine which version of history will continue, your victory essentially wiping the aliens from existence.
Oh.
And thus, we end without knowing what comes after. Will the next game be Earth Defense Force 7? Earth Defense Force 10?
I don't know, exactly. He said he played the game for 35 hours before he got to that part.
For such a formulaic franchise, the future is genuinely uncertain. In the epilogue to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, an eternity of wandering through a desert of memory ends in a conversation with the settings of the game itself, a quiet voice that's encouraged you to set the clock and brightness each time you turned on the game. The settings voice is terrified of the Stanley Parable universe ending. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And then, the settings voice gives you the opportunity to make a new Stanley Parable every time you start the game. The Stanley Parable 3, Baby Champion. The Stanley Parable 4, Avoid the Skeleton. The Stanley Parable 5, Stanley's Tiny Cowboy. And on and on and on. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. At the end of Chapter 4 of World of Goo 2, you find yourself conversing with a computer who is more or less the god of its world. It is the thing that's preserved every World of Goo game ever made, allowed you to experience World of Goo 9 and 11 and 17. Your character says, I don't think I'd want to live forever inside a noir-themed sequel, but thanks the computer for keeping the World of Goo games alive. The computer says, it was a pleasure. Now would you like to try some more levels of World of Goo? They're just over there. We walk to the right and trip over a power cord. The computer turns off.
Damn. What a video.
Sometimes you find a bunch of games that happen to coalesce into one big, cool idea. And other times, someone makes Peggle into a roguelike, and you can't find a way to tie it into the same big theme, but you really want to talk about it anyway. And so you decide, hey, what the hell, I'll make a whole separate video. At least that's what you do if you're me, and you care about Peggle way too much, and you can put absolutely
Alright, that's pretty much it. Okay.
you want on Nebula.
Damn, what a video. Thank you for that, Taka. My god, yo, I was not ready for a mind whipping over there. Oh lord. Have you guys played any of those games? I saw a few of you guys mention Space Defense Force, Dragon's Dogma, Stanley Parable as well. I've not played any of these games, man. I have to admit. Was it? No, me too. Like, I thought it meant games hiding Easter eggs towards their sequels in the previous game. That's nothing of what this video is talking about. They are literally games that hide their own sequels within itself. Wow. Right. Fascinating stuff, man. I have to admit, bro, like, I'm not the target audience for these kind of games, but it's fascinating to read about it, to see other people's experiences with it and stuff. Yeah. That is very, very cool, man. Very cool. Thank you very much for that, Taco. I appreciate it big time, man. What an absolute blast of a video. And thank you, Jacob Geller, for that. Beautiful stuff there. But all right, guys, it is actually a pretty short stream on YouTube today. We are now heading on over to the music section, so we'll head on over to Twitch. Thank you very much, though, man. Appreciate it big time. My brain is pain. Alright. Thank you. I will see you guys in like 5 minutes. I don't even need to go to the toilet. We'll just go round into it. Alright. Alright. Oh, Henrique, that sounds pretty cool. The best word is safe. To be honest, I think that's a London thing, so you might not want to use it. I don't know. But it means everything. It just means everything. It means thank you. It means hello. It's the best, man. In it. Right. To be fair, Henrique, like, it's a good point, but I'm very London coded. Like, all of my slang is most likely very centered towards London. But where even is Bath, bro? Is that like mid... Is that like the Midlands? I don't even know, man. Oh, man. Alright, here you guys go. I'll see you guys over on Twitch. But enjoy, though. Enjoy, Henrique. That sounds pretty awesome, man. Alright, Shabir in Velo City, and I'll catch you over on Twitch in like 5 minutes. See you in a bit, guys. Peace. Otu, Velo.